accompli. My brain is utterly fucked.
Eike. hello, buddies.
What already? What is going on? Hang on.
I
Need to open up.
forgot I was showing my screen, had to change a... Oh yes, where you are means all of the randomizer stuff will cover your face. Ike, can you say something?
I'm covered. No, I like this. It's cozy.
I'll just put you closer to me. Yeah, you can live in the middle.
Okay.
That sound good? Then we can sort of touch. We can sort of touch like this. I just probably need to introduce Ike and Killian to a couple of new features that we have, which are going to be displayed quite prominently because they are pretty much taking over the stream. So we have a timer. People, anyone in the chat, I think it's subs only at the moment, actually, to protect ourselves. If you do ! timer and then an amount in minutes and then what the timer is counting down to, it will count down and then set the current activity to whatever it is. And of course, the biggest toy of all is the randomizer. Rather than just being a kind of text-based spin the wheel, I have recently changed it to sub only because it's too powerful and it's too much. So I think it's justified to paywall it. I think mods should be able to get at it though, although I've had some trouble setting that, so maybe it is still. But I would like mods to have it by default. Anyway, the randomizer works by you could do !random, then a name of a category. That might be why, Josie. I will try and fix that. I don't know how yet. I don't have time now, but I will look at it. New compliment coming. As a gamer, very, very nice. That's a random Ike. Okay. So, one way to look at it is I will open up the file itself. There are 3 commands. Well, 4 actually. Add. You can add, and then a category, and then a thing you want to add to that category. Remove, very similar. Remove, then category, and then the thing you want to remove from that category. I'm going to show you how big the doc is, but we are before that going to do a random Ike. Oh my god, is that an Ike catchphrase, or is it more, oh my god, is that actually Ike?
Do I say that if I'm not sure whether I've seen a thing I recognise? Sure.
T-10 for eggs.
We all do. I don't know if that's one of my classics.
T-5 for eggs.
See, I've missed the whole egg thing, so
It's egg time.
Okay. Neatly folding elbows. Do I do that?
There's going to be some eggs.
Egg. Oh,
Egg.
I'm having a bad stream.
Egg.
There's eggs now.
Egg.
And these have all been added one by one.
Eggs and asp.
People have their own eggs.
Egg.
Eggs and asp.
Oh, each of these is someone pressing egg.
Yeah,
to
everyone's
display
got
their personal egg.
Eggs and asp.
egg.
Eggs
Egg.
and asp.
Yes, people can pay to have their own egg. It's I didn't realise it would be as
Right.
popular as it is.
Eggs and asp.
Josie
Egg.
Hypatia is very
Eggs and asp.
Josie Hypatia's
Eggs and asp.
created an artificial scarcity on her egg and only uses it once per stream, but it is amazing. It's biblically accurate.
Oh, okay. So
Eggs as they were
I'll keep
described
an
in
eye
the
out for that
Bible.
one, I guess. Well, I know it when I see it.
Yes, but
Egg.
if you're not looking during that particular millisecond, you'll miss it.
Right. Okay.
Egg.
I'll try not to blink or anything. Yeah. Okay.
And so here
This
is
is
currently the file that determines the randomizer. It is currently, to scroll down to the very bottom, it is currently 1,139 lines long. Categories include Ike, timer, different kinds of bed. I don't know when people did bed. Different kinds of fish. People have added in fish. Different kinds of place, different kinds of stretch, different kinds of
Do you have to
moon
create
distance.
the category, or can other people create the category?
Other people can create a category and then just fill it with things that go in that category. Is Ike cankable? Well, tell me, Killian, how does Ike sound like this? Ike, can you talk?
Hello, I'm talking. Do I need to be canked? I'm
How's
talking
that?
still. How is this, Killian?
I have to come clean. My brain is utterly fucked.
Thank you very much, Rickard, for the resubscription. Ike has been canked in a way. It might add a little bit of delay onto Ike.
I have begun. Well, I was going to say, is it normal for the Sean? I'm looking at the screen on VDO, and it's a little bit behind the actual stream on Twitch. Is that normal? Is Twitch like a second or two behind?
Yes. What were you listening to, sorry?
Listening to?
What did you say? Say the thing again.
I'm looking at the screen that we've got on VDO, but it's quite blurry, so I can't really make anything out very clearly. So I kind of have to watch Twitch, but then that's a little behind, so I'm getting a bit disoriented.
Oh, let me look at the feed I'm sending to you. You're saying this one on the left is blurry.
Yeah, I'm receiving it awfully blurrily.
It looks sharp over here.
I don't know what to tell you. I've got it fuzzy. But
What's your internet down speed?
I don't know. What does that mean?
How good's your internet? Right
That's
now and in
fine.
general.
It's never been an issue before. It's I have just gone down to like a worse internet though.
Yeah.
But it's never had a problem so far. Maybe I need to pay for a more expensive one.
Are you able... Oh, sorry.
Egg.
Have you got a drink with you?
Egg.
Me?
Egg.
Yeah, have you got a drink with you?
Egg.
I do.
Egg.
In 45 seconds, we've got to sip it.
Eggs and asp.
Okay.
Egg.
But...
Do I have to count that myself? Oh, it's counting there. All right. Sure.
Yes, but we're going to be told how to sip.
You've told me about the random sip mechanic. Okay.
It wasn't up to me. I've never asked for it. I don't like it.
Okay, well, when we did
Charbel tipped
Pokemon, I had to
£5.
waterboard myself
Please may
for a
I have a
donation,
custom
so
egg?
I think
A
I'm fine with whatever
segue.
sip
The
is.
audio should be egg, done in the style of the Wilhelm scream. Thank you.
Charbel, can you do the audio of egg in the side of the Wilhelm scream, please?
Is that what it said?
And also, what's
That's
the
pretty
image? A segue or is it an egg?
Timer complete.
It's sip time. Can you roll? Are we having the same sip? Are we sipping in the same way? Or
We can sip in unison. Maybe
we're
it's
just
a tutorial.
we're just doing a nip. You might want to get on. You might want to get profile on. Just a nip's just a very
Egg.
little polite sip. Yeah.
Here we go. Just a little nip.
Just a little nip. Very nice.
Just a little
yes. Good, because I was only slightly parched. And now we're receiving a compliment. It really does use up a lot of time, these features.
Okay.
Polite and works hard. I think that applies to both of us.
I'm
Let's
polite.
hope so. So can you read the yellow text on...
I can, but it's a bit of a struggle. I'm a bit worried about when we start ink more. But to be honest, so long as it's alright if I'm like 2 seconds behind, I'll just be turning this way a lot.
That insult's directed at Catbox. They're all Catbox specific insults. I don't know why Catbox.
I
don't
had an
think was
inkling.
even
I did
on
have an
that.
inkling that one was directed at Catbox.
So today we're here to learn ink. In theory, we're here to learn. Encourage you to learn along. Me and my friend, associate, and colleague, Ike, do intend to start a project soon using ink, and so we're going to learn it.
Yeah. Sean has Maul has been spending the week learning ink enough to give this tutorial. I have not learned any, and I'm going to be receiving the tutorial as the avatar of the audience. I'm a clueless student, and I'm ready to have my brain filled with ink knowledge.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a random mic coming in. The fanfare plays. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I got a fanfare.
I don't know what any of these things mean. Yeah, so categories we've got is greeting, raid message, melody, forgiven, enemy A, enemies, posture, raid, high, sip, height, mashable, smash, mineral, cult, cult name, door frame, road, roads, British food, British, random enemy, oracle of truth. Sorry, Josie, it is a sub thing. I'll try and fix it now, but last time I tried to fix it, it just broke it. I'll try and fix it. Again, it might just break it.
Killian's
I'll-
filled my brain with ink.
Do you know, I shouldn't fix it now. I'll fix it when I have time to fix it. I would like it to be subs and mods. But last time I did it broke. I don't know. We're going to learn ink. We don't need to be doing random.
Ink.
Okay. As a quick poll, a straw poll, I won't be using any mechanisms. Who has either had a little play with ink so far? Who is interested in learning ink and making something? Who's sort of passively interested, just mildly curious? And who has just genuinely no interest in ink, learning ink, or making anything with ink?
This might not be the stream for you if you're in the last category.
Can't get it installed on Linux. That's
I have to
mad.
completely. My brain is utterly fucked.
Hello,
Imperial
Spleeny.
Halloumi gifted a tier 1 sub
Oh.
to Spleeny Dots on.
It's
Spleeny.
Spleeny here.
I have to completely. My brain is utterly fucked.
Imperial Halloumi gifted a tier 1 sub to _Frosty.
Is
Thank
Spleeny
you
here
so
or
much,
did they receive a
Imperial Lumi.
gift?
Well, I'm never quite sure if gifted subs mean that someone is actually here or not. But
They
let's
could just
just-
sort of exist somewhere to be the recipient of a gift.
well, I don't know, because part of me thinks it's a way maybe of flushing out lurkers and showing that there are lurkers around. But I don't know. I feel like I don't know anything.
I've spent a lot of my life lurking in various internet places, and I've never received a gift for that. I'm quite jealous of this Twitch generation.
I don't know. Albrot maybe has just confirmed that we don't need to be in the chat to receive.
30-something seconds until stretch.
Yeah, we're going to have to... It's sort of a posture check. Robot.
I have to completely. My brain is utterly fucked.
Oh.
An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Josie Russell.
Thank you so much, anonymous user. Now I don't need to fix anything. My fixing days are numbered. Josie Russell, add to your heart's content. I think Sun Salutation's already in the stretches, Albrot. Okay, T-3 until stretch.
Oh,
Timer
I need to
complete.
get on the actual in time one.
Wait. We'll be given a stretch.
Oh, there's a type of stretch. Oh, okay.
There's a type of everything.
Right, sorry, I forgot about the subcategories.
I have to completely. My
Okay, I
brain is
think
utterly
a Sun
fucked.
Salutation is like you stand up.
Jam Bud gifted a tier 1 sub to Liam EB.
I can't stand up. I will not.
Can't stand up.
I have
I'll
to
knock the green
complete.
screen over if I stand up.
My brain
So
is
will I.
utterly fucked.
Yeah, alright, fine.
Disconnected Dan gifted a tier 1 sub to P_D.
Okay.
And then I think,
What is it? I don't know what it is.
I think you raise your arms up in the air.
Yeah.
Ah,
You're like this.
Dr.
I think you
Plem.
raise your arms like.
it's
Kind
got
of
that
like-
taste
kind
that
of like
you just
the
won't
classic
forget.
stretch.
Yeah, it's like a
The
classic
classic.
stretch, and then you say, "Thank you, God."
Thank you. Well, hang on. That's a reference to Pokemon episode 1.
That episode 1 was a good app. We'll check that out on
It
YouTube
was a
if I
good
were
effort. It
me.
was a strong start.
Started well.
Number 1 on my list of apps to start with.
Oh, I wouldn't start with that. I wouldn't start with 1.
No. Dive straight in on Mount Moon. Right. Hello, everybody.
So, ink.
Ink.
Uh,
Play hide and seek. Oh, 8 minutes. Okay.
yeah, we got a while. Let's learn something.
Is
in the
that a whole
meantime.
category of time things that we have to do?
No.
How come there was always something in that zone?
People are manually adding something every time the timer elapses. Someone
Oh.
always appears to put something else in.
Okay, sure.
Okay, the time at which we have to learn ink is shrinking quite a lot. So let's cronk in.
Right.
Ink is quite easy to learn. Ike, do you have something that looks like this up on yours?
Oh, hang on. Let me get back to Twitch window. I think I've got a pre-made sample game on mine. It says Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, delete it.
Delete the sample game.
Delete it.
I didn't get to play it. No, I realized actually it was just a 4-line bit of text. So I guess I did play it. I've played it.
Yeah,
I've completed
don't
another
think-
game this
don't
year.
think you need it. Great, yeah. Put that in the list.
Yeah, 5 stars.
Okay, so ink, the very basics of ink are very, very nice and basic. You got your text. Oh, and also everything I write on the left of here is the editor. Everything that comes up on the right is compiled into an actual
I have to
game.
come clean. My brain is utterly fucked.
And thank you very much to Catboxman for the 25 months insane levels of loyalty. So everything you write here, hello, this is a test game.
I am Ross Gelder from Friends. I illegally procured
Sorry,
the
I
hip
can't
bond
hear
of a
you. Ross is
Diplodocus. We were on a break.
Is Ross
Man
around
11.
now?
What's that?
Ross
I
is
love
very loud.
dinosaurs.
I'm going to turn Ross down. Sorry, say it again.
Oh, right. My audio is not up from the stream, so Ross is just like a noise pollution, like Puppy. Well, Puppy is very good. What's Ross?
It's-
Just some horrible noise.
It's just some famous quotes from Ross Geller from Friends.
Oh, okay. What are the quotes?
True, it hasn't really been my ideal teaching environment. I haven't really been able to explain a single thing yet. So, what I am hoping for is that it will sort of peter out. It will calm down. This kind of energy, the class will settle of its own accord. The class is rowdy, but it cannot last. Class will peter out, and they'll be ready to learn of their own accord.
Are we going to make an example of anybody?
No, one of my rules is never ever discipline anyone for anything, and so far it's done me no favors. But I've made no enemies.
Egg.
Okay,
Right.
so
I've got my own version of the test game dialogue. I've already making changes, but I'm basically mirroring what's on your screen.
the enemies list has just appeared.
Are these all users? Are they all enemies?
They're
Oh, I recognise some of these people.
they're everyone who blew up my house.
Right.
I think it's useful just to keep tabs of, to keep an eye on.
Yeah, no, understandable.
Quite a few people have been forgiven. I'm not belligerent.
You mentioned MonoDB has not forgiven you. Is that because they suffered
Well, I am
from the-
because I blew up his flat.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Very good. I didn't know how much of that would constitute doxing.
Well, I think that whole stream constituted doxing. So,
Yeah.
with
fair.
ink,
Ink.
yeah. So what you've got to learn about really, when you just print text on its own without any symbols or anything, it's just text. Obviously, choices is the first and easiest thing to learn. We can make some choices. So we can do choice number 1, or we could do choice number 2. And if you see on the right, that will show up as 2 separate kinds of choices. And if you wanted to do something or print something, we will write that under a choice. This is some text that it will show you if you choose choice number 1. Hello, you've chosen choice 2. And then as we see on the right-hand side, it'll print
Oh,
the
so-
thing.
Oh, I see. So choice 1 and choice 2 are each like the lines of the choice. You choose between those two.
Yeah, because they have asterisks,
Right.
they will be
Okay.
understood by the game as separate choices. So that's
Oh, and it comes up in the side. I forgot about that. That's so helpful that it just sort of makes it.
yeah, because it's auto compiling the game into a little tester while we're
Yeah.
writing, which is even though it's just a language, Inkle itself compiling the game and letting you just play it. Oh, very good. Chef's kiss. Very, very nice. And the other basic of Ink is knots. And knots are kind of what it calls scenes. So you declare a knot by putting it in between two equals. So you might want to say Big Mama's house, right? And your choice might be, where should I go for pumpkin pie? Right, and you've got some choices. Where do I want to go for pumpkin pie? Well, I could go to the pumpkin pie shop, or I could go to Big Mama's house. And when it comes to a knot, if you want to send the story to a knot, you just do a little arrow, and
How are you
You
spelling
then-
not? Are you spelling it KNOT like a
KNOT, like yeah,
Right. I thought you were saying NOT, as in this is the else case. Okay, sure.
hmm
So it's like a scene header, kind of, basically.
yeah. So when you want to send someone to a knot, you do a little arrow, hyphen, and then like a whatever. You make a little arrow, and then you write the name of the knot. The knot has to be like one word, so you'd use underscores underneath it. And then you might want to go like pumpkin pie shop. Could also be a different knot. And as long as you just declare it by saying pumpkin pie shop with two equals, you can then go,
Timer complete.
okay, we've got to play hide and seek with each other. I'm going to meet the because we've just started the tutorial now. Where's Ike? Have you seen Ike?
Sorry, I've been distracted.
I'm playing hide and seek, don't worry.
Should I be quiet?
I don't know if you have to during hide and seek. Where could Ike be?
Sean will never find me.
I found
no.
Ike. Now let's continue.
Right. Tutorial. Can I take this opportunity to ask a question about the stream? Hello? You can't be heard either. Okay, well, can I ask you, and I guess they can intuit what you're...
I'm back.
Okay, hello. Can I ask, 30 minutes until SIP? Am I
Yeah.
allowed to sit before then?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So just to recap what we've already learned. We have a story. Where should I go for pumpkin pie? We could go to the pumpkin pie shop, or we can go to Big Mama's house. Go to the pumpkin pie shop. You go to the pumpkin pie shop. Oh, I haven't even finished writing that text. You arrive at the pumpkin pie shop. You are given and then consume a pumpkin pie, thus completing the quest. The end. Is indentation important? No. The compiler does not care. It is useful for you to indent.
Okay.
The language doesn't care.
That's interesting. Okay, cool.
The language looks for specific things like these asterisks or these exclamation marks, these equal signs or these arrows. White, blank space, indentation, not important, useful for your own eyes and brain. So can you follow this so far? There are two choices, the pumpkin pie shop or Big Mama's house. They lead to two diverts. Those diverts divert to two different knots, Big Mama's house and pumpkin pie shop. Both of them lead to a bit of text and then an end, which ends the game.
Yeah. You made a game. What's this game called?
Pumpkin pie at Big Mama's house.
That's an awful title because you have to choose between those two things.
Well, no, if you say that Big Mama's house is victory, you win.
Yeah,
And you say
yeah,
the
but the
pumpkin
other
pie
part,
shop is the bad
other-
ending. That's the bad ending. You lose.
Yeah, exactly. The other part is the one that's like you completed your quest. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
but it's a full narrative game. There's a good ending and there's a bad ending.
Yeah, no, I wasn't nitpicking maliciously. I was constructive criticism to help you arrive at the narrative cohesion you've reached now. So we worked together to make a very strong product.
We could play it. How do you want to play?
Yeah, okay.
Where should I go for pumpkin pie?
I think go to the pumpkin pie shop.
Are you really? Are you absolutely sure, given everything you know about it?
I am being Johnny Everyman, and when I see the pumpkin pie shop as an option for pumpkin pie, I'm going to go there. I'm being the average player of this game.
Playtesters always playtest it wrong. I go in to test the game, they do the things I don't want them to do. Yeah, they've
Well, I'll
lost.
play
Fucked
it
it. Well,
again.
they just don't know how to play. Don't know how to learn. I've made it
See,
obvious in the game what you're supposed to do.
Can I just
Jumping, glitching out of bounds. Where are you in the pumpkin pie shop? That's a debug room.
I mean, so the story is.
Oh my life!
Hang on, listen. This is the round. This is the post-mortem. This is the roundup of my playthrough. I've been asked where to go through for pumpkin pie. I've ignored the title of the game and I've gone to the pumpkin pie shop.
Yeah.
Just to see what else is out there. I've arrived at the pumpkin pie shop. I receive a pumpkin pie. I consume a pumpkin pie. I am told I've completed my quest, and then bafflingly, I lose, and it's the end. What? Okay. Oh. I really like do not post a review to Steam. Okay. So
This is it. This is game dev.
Okay. Okay, can I play again, please?
Hang on.
Okay. So the majority of the game's content is now locked behind the bad ending that is not reflected in the game's title.
It's not locked behind it. You don't want to get that, okay? You don't want that.
Okay.
I have to come clean. My brain is utterly fucked.
Oh,
Hello,
new friend
friends.
exists where the
Oh, who's here?
What's that just now?
Robot egg.
Sorry, I'm still watching it on like a 2-second delay, so I got it clearly.
Okay, so I have managed to put something a little tiny bit more advanced in here. If
Egg.
robot egg.
Ah, the two asterisks for okay.
Yeah, I will cover that. I didn't realize it needed that. We will cover that. We will cover that.
Okay.
Thank you very much for triggering the welcome bar. So now, you want to go from pumpkin pie. Where do you want to go?
But I did that one option the first time, and it really chewed me out. But I'm
It's
aware.
been reduxed. It's been reduxed.
I'm aware that you've added new content to that route, so
Yeah, it's
that's
DLC,
the one I kind
free
of want
DLC.
to see.
Yeah, pumpkin pie shop.
Fuck it, I'm gonna go to the pumpkin pie shop again, please.
Yeah, don't worry, because I now that I've playtested, I know that players want to go there, so I've made it more fun.
This is why
Yeah.
you have playtesters.
Yeah, but I've improved the game, you know.
Yeah, because of the playtesters.
And then I've given you a chance to apologise.
Okay. Oh, but you can't say. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm gonna take the only the only decision that I can make, and I'm gonna say I'm sorry.
just gonna add some info right at the very top. just
Get
so it
pumpkin.
explains my anger when it doesn't go well.
Finish and the title. The title is not "Go to Big Mama's house to get pumpkin pie." The title is "This game is called Go to Big Mama's house to get pumpkin pie."
No. No, that's not the name of the game. The name of the game is after the colon.
The name of the game is. This game is called colon.
No.
Go to Big Mama's
No,
house
what
to
are you
get
talking
pumpkin pie.
about? No, it's in speech marks. The name of the game.
Yeah, it's stylized.
No, it's not stylized as.
It's stylized.
Hang on.
No! What? You got
Have I
half the
fixed
title. We
this?
just got a subtitle now.
Okay, so you're going to apologise.
Can I suggest an edit?
No.
It's about the title.
Okay.
Okay, it's just Control Z.
I don't know how. I don't have that. I don't have that over here.
Your keeper's not got that.
I don't. I
Right.
can't. Yeah,
What a
it's not on
scrub.
here.
What a scrub. Okay, fine.
I'm old school.
Okay, well, this game's a 4 stars at max, but whatever. Sure. Oh, so okay, so to get back to Tutorial Town, 1 star for I'm sorry is because it's a choice, and then 2 stars is following on from that.
Hang on, you're in the way of so many little things. Let's just shrink.
I am. You can make me small if you like. Yeah.
I don't know where you should live. Yeah. I actually don't know where you should live. Maybe I'll just put you here.
Yeah.
You
You can lower me a bit because I'm a little bit above the toolbar and it's annoying me. I've got these windows under me.
We don't need to be big, you know.
Or
This is
raise
all
me.
about learning ink, as much as no one
Yeah,
else cares.
Exactly. Exactly. Just close the gap. There we go.
I'll shrink
Right.
too. I'll shrink too. There's 2 small buddies.
Small pals.
The reason this okay needs to be here is because if you do I'm sorry, okay, one more chance, or okay, it's going to read these as 2 choices on the same tree. Right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
wants to show you I'm sorry and okay, but I don't want that. I want you to only see I'm sorry, and then I want you to have to choose okay. So if you want one choice to be something you see after another choice, you go 2 to be like it's 1 in to a choice tree. And then if you write okay, it understands that it's like inside the other choice.
Yeah.
And then if you wanted there to be another thing that you do actually get to pick,
I think I
you
can
could
guess.
be like,
I think I can
I'm
guess.
not sorry. Yeah?
Oh, I thought you were going to say as a carrying on from okay. Is it just an ever increasing amount of asterisks?
Yeah, as you just go in and in and in and in. Yeah, 3rd, 4th, however many you want. It goes in and in and in and in and in.
Is there a maximum?
I have no idea. I've not tested if there's a
Do you
maximum.
want to find out?
Not right now, because I want to just get this working again. So you can go in, and then if you add a dash like this, I'm just waiting for all this stuff to move so I can show you. If you add a dash like this, where it says okay, that gathers all the choices into one spot again. So this is a bit more complicated. You've got 2 choices. One, and in fact, I'll show you in the game.
Oh, I see.
Right?
So whichever one you choose, it then goes straight through to the second okay.
Yeah, because if you look here, you've
Right.
actually got I'm sorry and I'm not sorry are printed down here. People are just covering up the text again. So it shows I'm sorry, then what it prints, and then a choice that's within that choice. And then next to the other 1 asterisk, it shows what it's going to print, and then the choice within that choice.
Okay. Yeah. Well, did you see what the what came up as the relational size? I think you might not have been looking at the screen because you didn't acknowledge it. At some point, a randomizer came up on screen saying, "I think full screen Ike, tiny Sean." I'm not really in favor of that, but it did come up. Oh,
Ah, Dr. Plem. It's got that taste
what does that
you
Dr.
just won't
Pepper say
forget.
that's not Dr. Pepper? Dr.
Plem.
Plem. Oh, yes, the sponsor. Yes, yes.
So, would your advice be, given that my objective is to do this ink stream, would your advice be to give them what they want with the assumption that will placate them and they will then let me get on with what I want? Or should I go the other way and not give them any attention and assume they will tire of this and then see if they will choose learning ink as a plan B to their initial plan of having fun?
I think go 50-50 with it.
No. With a thing
Solve
like this,
everything with a week half measure. It'll be fine.
have you watched Super Nanny? You pick one thing and you go mental over it.
I think give them what they want and they'll tire of it. I think if you
just to be clear, just to give you some background context, I've been giving them what they want for a couple of years, and they are still champing at the bit. They are still despo for more. It is a thirst that shall never be slaked.
But I think, I don't know. I think to have tuned into this stream in the first place, you've got to have at least a passing interest in learning ink. So I don't think it'll ever get chaotic.
I don't agree with the premise of that statement.
Yeah.
Some people
You
tune
think
in
there's
because it
agitators
has
and
become.
disruptors in the chat?
I think some people tune in because it's just become part of their week. Josie has no interest in. Plenty of people have no interest in learning ink. So if they're not like cutting off their nose to spite their face, they have no interest in the intended content.
I'll leave it up to you. I'll leave it up to you to decide what you want to do. But I think I would gravitate towards indulging them a little.
I'll indulge them a little bit, but I feel like I've already done that. I gave them quite a big chunk of indulgence.
I think we need to spread it up. I think we need to make learning fun. I think we can do like 10-15 minutes of ink and then a little bit of fun. And also, I think us forcing fun like that, they might hate it.
I think having this conversation has forced some reflection. And I think we'll go with our instincts from here. It's for forced reflection on us and reflection on them, maybe. So, you know, I consider this a big reset. We've all naughty stepped ourselves. And now we'll come off the naughty step and we'll have dinner as a family.
So we've got I'm still like 2 seconds behind, so I'm just seeing it shuffle now.
And in the interest of and I'll get smaller, but just so that we can definitely see, I'm probably going to lower the opacity on Ike.
Yeah, just transparent me out or translucent me out.
Yeah, I mean, we can still see the text.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, and now we can see everything. You know, this works. I've met everyone halfway.
I'm torn between absolutely loving this and absolutely hating it.
I think it's quite good, actually. To be honest, you were always in the way, and now we can read the text fine. It actually is quite good. Do you know, when I need to point at something,
the solution
point
to
with your
someone who's
tongue?
always in the way is just have them everywhere a bit. Okay, right.
Okay, so do people understand? Those who are interested in learning ink, do you follow what we have so far and how it works?
Yes, I'm in that group, and I can answer yes. Is there anyone who doesn't understand and would like to?
Oh, yes. People who don't understand and don't care, you're welcome to, you know, silently maintain that. Feel like a little rundown, please. Yeah, sure. So let's go from the beginning of the game, and we'll go step by step. We will be going pumpkin pie route, the only route that has any real content. The dash. I've ended up covering things in a bit of a weird order that was not part of my plan because I was been thrown, I think, quite understandably. But we'll go from the beginning. So the game goes from the start down, and then, well, yeah, we'll just go from the start. So when you start the game, you find out that the game is called Go to Big Mama's House to Get Pumpkin Pie. That's the name of the game. That's what the game's called.
Well,
and then it reaches this diver. The arrow tells it to go to a knot called Start, but that's our first knot, so we're not going very far. Then it prints where should I go for the pumpkin pie. Asterisk denotes a choice. We go to the pumpkin pie shop, or another choice, Big Mama's house. We're going to go to the pumpkin pie shop. How big is she? You'll have to play and find out. Although, actually, if you do skim, you'll find out that's not covered. But that's games marketing.
Who's bigger, Big Mama or Big Ike?
We don't know.
Yeah, can I just say there's a really good comment in the chat from Albrot. I think everyone should pay. Is there a way to pin that actually to the top of the chat? Maybe.
Yes, the way you pin an activity is asking, say, please can no one else overwrite that. That's how I pin.
Okay, please can no one else overwrite Albrot's comment.
Yeah, so you've effectively pinned it.
Great.
Unless someone new comes in and hasn't heard that, and also knows how to use the activity ticker.
What's redeemed update? Have I just redeemed an update? I'm so confused.
The ticker is controlled by a redemption, so when it is activated, you will see that in the chat because it's controlled by a channel point redemption.
I don't follow that, but I don't think I need to. It's fine. Oh,
you don't need to.
Nice activity.
Certain things are controlled by the chat. Certain things are controlled by a built-in function of Twitch, which allows you to redeem channel points, which is just an in-Twitch currency showing how long you've watched or engaged with streams. You can redeem them for other functions. Certain things are better to work through that.
I follow it. It's like you make a comment, and then if you want to redeem it, it's like redeem the update ticker. It's like when you sponsor a tweet, and that puts it on the screen. And so, Sharble Garble saying, "No one overwrite Albrot's comment, please," but then doing the thing was actually the opposite of helpful, and I think they know that.
Yeah, rude, intentionally rude. Yeah, it sounds like you've got full. You are now got a working knowledge of this.
I understand now.
You've been disrespected.
Okay. Dr.
Online.
Twitch, PhD. Okay.
I think this is a good learning environment, actually. I've gone a full 180 on this.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Disconnected Dan. Thank you for your support. Okay.
Then it prints I could go for pumpkin pie. Then there's quite a big rant here. I would ignore that. It's sort of the developer breaks the fourth wall here.
Okay.
Then it looks for choices. There's a 1 asterisk there, and then it doesn't look inside of this yet because that's the stuff it looks for if you click the choice. So it actually looks down beyond it and it goes, are there any more choices? Okay, 1 asterisk. And it looks for that, and it doesn't look inside of it because the game hasn't chosen that yet. And then this dash is called a gather. And what the gather does is it goes, if there's nothing inside all the choices, just come back down here. It's like a fallback. If not all the choices are leading somewhere, then when you get to the end of going inside one of these choices, just come over here. So, like, if you were like saying, okay, there's a snowball that's going to hit you, and you wanted to choose like 3 ways of dodging, and you could describe that, but in the end, you're always going to dodge it. At the end, it could say gather, dash for gather, and then you go, oh, and because the snowball didn't hit you, you get a lollipop from the nurse. Can a choice then not contain a line break, or is it the indentation that denotes that it's to appear once a choice is made? So what tells you that the game knows what to do by what's at the beginning of the line. So the beginning of the line here is an asterisk, so it knows that's a choice. I'm just answering Albrot's question. Then this doesn't have anything at the beginning, so it knows it's text, and the text is connected to this because it's the text that appears after the choice. And it knows this is another choice inside this choice because it's got two asterisks. So we could still do this, and it should be okay. So if we click on I'm sorry, okay, one more chance, okay, the line breaks don't matter. It works exactly the same. And in fact, I could probably do that as well. Yeah, it doesn't care. What if I wanted one choice to be styled in such a way that the text is on more than one line? Not sure. Hello? I don't know the answer to that. I presume there's a way.
Sorry, just I had to be absent there for about 20 seconds. What's this square brackets? That's the line break.
No, it didn't do anything. I don't know the answer to Albert's question. Wow, thanks, Albert. I don't know. I could try and look it up in the documentation. You know what? It's a very basic question, and I'm sure I could find the answer at some point. I don't have it right now. I've not thought about wanting a line break in a choice. There's an outside chance it's not possible. I feel like it probably is. Anyway. So if you click on one of those, it'll send you to OK. It doesn't really matter which one you do, because even if you say I'm not sorry, we can go back one. Even if you say I'm not sorry, it just gives you the option to say OK. And because there's a gather, they all are going to take us back to it printing OK. And then it's going to send us via this divert right back to the start. And we're going to be right back to the start, and it goes, where should I go for pumpkin pie? But this time, it's only going to give us the choice Big Mama's house. Because as default in Ink, when you choose a choice, it's used up. It goes away. You've done it. If you ever loop something back on itself, the previous choice should be gone. You can change that though, because you can change the asterisk for a plus. A plus is a sticky choice. It doesn't go anywhere.
Cool.
If you want that. By default, choices go away. Makes sense. If you've picked up the hammer, then you've got the hammer. So you can't pick up the hammer again. That's what it's thinking about.
It makes sense logically, but also it's like for video games, that's quite strange. A lot of the time, if you go back and redo your choice again in most games, it feels like you can just choose the same option if you want. It's interesting that it does go away.
I guess it's maybe thinking about dialogue and things like
it makes more sense. It feels like it feels like it's more realistic. Yeah.
It can't be like you've already killed Jeffrey.
Oh, I see. Especially if it's a big choice. Yeah, if it's something irreversible. But I feel like other than it being a silly decision, we all have the capacity to go to the pumpkin pie shop twice.
Yes, it is. But I think in stories, if you're thinking about interactive stories rather than video games contain the same action done lots of times. But in stories, tends to be the story's told once, I suppose.
Yeah. Narratively, we shouldn't go to the pumpkin pie shop twice.
Yeah. Okay, what else is like useful basics to learn about? So I might even just delete this as the end of that. I don't want to keep adding more to this because this document will get more complicated and harder to read. Right, it will have too much stuff on it. What if you'd like to repeat your mistakes? Well, you can just add a plus choice rather than an asterisk choice. You can make sticky choices.
And you know what? Thinking about that more, it's like a lot of my time in games is spent repeating choices I've already done because I want to see if there's slightly different dialogue or anything this time round. And often there isn't, and you just end up watching the same thing through twice. So it's quite nice that it just doesn't. You can just say no, you don't get to do that twice. I quite like that.
and it's very easy to like pick either or. The fact that it's a default choice isn't in any way limiting you to that.
Yeah.
A couple of small things that are useful to know about. One is called glue. So far we've learnt about what knots and diverts and choices. Those are your basic building blocks. And we'll just learn a couple of like neat little tricks. So you might
just hang on, Sean. Have you saved that the pumpkin pie shop game anywhere?
No, do you think I should?
Well, it might be or if this game, it might be handy to have like either multiple sample games available
Sure.
as a download after this or something, or just have one sample game that covers everything. I'm very aware that you've taught us stuff there that is going to like vanish if it's not in this next game.
Yeah, sure. I'll just put it in my my ink learning.
Yeah.
Just call this Go to Big Mama's House. And this will be the name of the file, I'm afraid. So this will be the canon of what the name of the game is. Go to Big Mama's house to get pumpkin. I mean, that's what it's being called here, so...
No. File names aren't canon. You got to check the metadata.
I'll pop it. I can access the metadata.
No, don't.
Yeah, I know we'll copy-paste the code to Discord. Because again, it's just the program's not important. It's just the writing, you know. So a couple of little things. So you can use these brackets and you can use these brackets, and they do interesting things. I can't remember what this is called, but this is called glue. And one is about what text actually gets printed. So you could say Ike says hello. And then we can decide what we're saying back to Ike. But we're going to be sipping about 40 seconds. So we might say be rude to Ike. Or we might say be nice to Ike.
Ugh. Yes, be nice to Ike.
But if you put these in brackets, it won't actually print the content of the choice. It will instead print the text that will appear underneath it. So you click on be rude to Ike. But
okay. Is this so you can have multiple text options that lead to the same place?
Respond kindly. And
Timer complete.
We have to sip, and it will be chosen how we're going to sip in just a moment. Nice.
What's the sip of the day?
Quite a big gulp.
Big gulp. But quite a big gulp, not an overwhelmingly big gulp. A moderately large gulp.
I was quite thirsty.
Yeah. I feel quite refreshed. Hey! Hey! Come on. Ugh.
Didn't hear the sorry. I don't know if there needed to be a sorry. So it's going to show two choices here. We can respond rudely or we can respond kindly. And there are two things being used here. One is the square brackets, which it shows in red, and one is the little glue brackets, which is showing in kind of a teal colour. And if we respond rudely, there are two things that are happening. The square brackets are making it not print the word rudely when you click on the choice. And the blue things, the glue, are making it so that this text glues itself and it doesn't print the line break. It just sticks those two things together. So you can click on you respond rudely, but then it actually shows how you respond.
Right. That's formatted a lot more nicely than the last one.
It's very nice formatting. It's just nice and clear and simple. kind.
Yeah. Yeah, even if you're being rude, it's being kind to you.
Yeah. There are also ways of varying the text. So let's say we don't want, to add flavour, we don't want the rude statement to always be the same thing. So we might want to make it different stuff.
Okay.
So we might want it to say like, go eat a street, or you're unpopular online, or div.
I feel like the first and the third of those are prejudicial. I feel like go eat a street is because of me being enormous now. It's because of my status as a god, basically. Div. I think that's because I'm a div. You're unpopular online. That's a fair cop.
Fair cop gov.
Yeah, got me banged to rights.
I've kept silly spaces in here where there shouldn't really be spaces. But the way
So is that
this...
just a randomizer then?
It's a randomizer specifically because I put this tilde. If it didn't have the tilde, it would cycle through them. So it could be... Well, I suppose I have to reset the game, but it will say get to fuck, but then it will say get to fuck again because I'm actually restarting the game. So let's say we wanted to go. You have another chance to talk to Ike, and then it's going to send us back to Ike, which is the main scene. So we'll make this a knot here. So now we can just keep being rude to you. So first time it should say get to fuck, then it should say you're unpopular. Oh, no, then go eat a street.
Why have you had to make that a knot as well as the arrow one at the start? Would the arrow down there not link you back
The
to
only
the arrow?
way
Link you back to the knot.
The only way I know to make a loop is to do a divert. But if you just start the game, that doesn't have an address, doesn't have a not address, that isn't a not with a name to divert to. So I always make the top of the game to divert people into the intro if I ever want to send people back to the intro.
Timer complete.
I don't fully follow, but that's so. This arrow on line.
Sorry,
14...
I have to do this thing. I'm sorry.
Okay, hang on.
I am I'm choosing to placate. I've got to give you a little kiss on the cheek.
Thank you. That was lovely.
I know I don't have to start the game with. I'm going to answer your question now because I understand.
Okay,
it.
yeah. So line 14. Here's my question. Line 14. Where does that go? Does that go to line 1 or to line 3?
It goes to line 3. It goes to this address and everything below it.
Oh, what you're saying is so line. Does line 1 need to be that to link to line 3?
Well, Martin says no. But
you could
for
just
me,
start with line 3.
Martin says you can just start with the not title. The game will start at the top anyway. But the reason I do what I do is because removing that means the game doesn't run. And if I add this, it does run. So that's why I do it. The specific reason I do it is because if we wanted to make a loop where it goes back around, I wouldn't know where to divert it to. Robot egg. Well, it's not a big deal, right? If you just want to make your first intro a knot, just name it. You can just call it intro. Call it intro and then just say... Because up here, you might want to do some beginning of the game stuff. If you're doing stuff with variables that you need to declare, you can pop them all up here and then say, when you've got all the variables, just go and start the game in the intro. And then if you want to make a loop, you can just send the game back to the intro here. So it's not a big deal.
Sure. Okay, I'll just start something like that, I guess. What's that little
Well,
dot
that's
on
because
the word
if it wanted to go into the first not automatically, you might want to declare variables and do code and stuff up there. So you don't want it automatically to do that if you ever want to go back into that first knot. It will redeclare all the variables with their initial values. So you need to have some space, which isn't the beginning of the game.
Okay. There's a dot I don't recognise, but I think is it just a full stop after you have another chance to talk to Ike, but it's gone on another line
it's
on
just
its
the
own.
run on. Yeah, it's just the run on.
Oh, okay. It just looks like an errant dot.
It looks rogue, yeah, but it is in fact highly normal.
Okay.
So in order to make an ink game, that's all you actually need to know. If you don't want to do anything too fancy, and even then, the last bunch of stuff I told you was more fancy stuff. Really, you've got everything you need from this.
Yeah, you've just made 2 games.
Oh yeah. Let's save that as well.
What's this game called?
Kill Ike.
No.
It's
That's
Kill Ike the
violence.
game.
That's against the TOS. Jeez Louise.
Oh no, I didn't do save as. Hey, copy this.
Can we have a better name for it, please?
Copy this, and then I'm
Timer
going to Control
complete.
Z all the way back to Big Mama's house.
Oh,
Oh,
I see. What's
We're going to
happening.
have to
Just
save,
over-
yeah. There's no save as, which is obviously bad, but
Oh. Oh, I see.
this one could be called Kill Ike.
Not Kill Ike, because you don't kill Ike in the game. It's a bad title. It should just be called Insult Ike or Don't, but it shouldn't be called Kill Ike.
Okay, it's called Insult Ike or Don't. That's the name.
What's the option
I think
if you
or
don't
don't
again?
should. Huh?
What happens if you don't again? You've put a lot of content.
Yeah, let me
behind.
open it up.
Not
Let
doing-
me.
We didn't do the SIP, by the way, and the SIP's vanished now. I feel like
What's
some
the
people have
SIP?
been
What's the SIP?
denied a SIP. Well, it didn't do a random SIP, or did it? And we didn't see it.
I don't think we ever got a random SIP.
Can we have a random SIP?
No hands. It's a tough one.
How am I going to do that? It's too far down the glass.
You can use arms, maybe.
Oh yes, I took that to mean like okay, sure.
Oh, wrists, maybe as well. Here we go.
Wrists is a no-brainer. Wrists is the way no hands are supposed to be completed. I think
There we go.
that's some fancy wrist work.
Thank you. I have been streaming a while.
He has had a flourish and a flair that my workman-like attempt was lacking.
Yeah, I do it for the subs. But you're right. We need some maybe more kind options.
Yeah, because I feel like when the game's called Insult Ike or Don't, but there's a lot of content behind Insult Ike and there's almost none behind Don't. I feel like you're making your stance clear, and it's a stance that I don't like. That feels really sinister though. That feels like it's something bad's about to happen. It's like a villain move. He's about to like stab someone. I don't like that. What does sweat it out mean? Fight?
No, just sweat, sweat it out.
Oh no.
There you go. So if you respond kindly, you can say, "I love your big life." Then you can clarify a relationship. You can back off quickly. Or you can sweat it out. But they all end up in the same place because there's a gather here, which is that that little dash. They all lead to the same thing. So Ike stops advancing, looks uncomfortable. You got another chance to talk to Ike, and you can just go around the whole thing. You can just go around again. Doesn't it need a double minus? Apparently not.
I don't agree with the characterization of Ike in this sort of Ike dating sim portion of the game.
It's not a dating sim.
I feel like it's not very accurate that upon someone giving me one compliment, I would immediately approach them with a warm energy. you've made the player character have a level of skittishness that is actually very present within me.
Those idents are automatic. They are just for the ease of reading. They're not really necessary. Martine, you would think you would, wouldn't you? You'd think you would, but I actually think gathers. Do you know what? I don't know why. I don't know why you don't need to. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. Possibly because you're on the way out of a tree and it knows that gathers lead you out. Should we make it even more complicated and learn a bit more about gathers? So if we back off quickly, Ike gives chase.
What? Hang on, I do not agree with this characterization of Ike.
Jump out of the window,
assassination.
or curl up in a defense ball. Now, can we use a single? That is 3 asterisk deep. Can we use a single gather? Ike loses the trail and wanders outside.
I am growing rapidly very uncomfortable with the content of this game. I would like to control F Ike for someone else at this point.
It's just a name. It's not you.
It's just an extremely rare name that I've chosen and tied my branding to.
Okay, so we're not getting any like red errors, so there's no problem in the syntax. So if we respond kindly, we back off. Oh, interestingly, I've got it. But I'm getting a heartbeat. We're gonna have to change size quite soon. It is not showing sweat it out because it sees this gather as applying to the 2 options above. It thinks that gather is the gather for back off quickly and clarify your relationship.
So indentation does make some
Timer complete.
Sorry, it doesn't.
This is where it makes a difference.
Yeah.
But so by putting three, we got to do relation size. Golden ratio, right to Sean. Could someone give me what the golden ratio is, please? Is it pi or something? No, it's phi or something like that. Could someone just give me the number? .6 is the golden ratio. No, really? That's really mundane looking. 1.6.18. Right, okay.
Yeah, the spiral thing is what I thought. I'm so confused.
Okay, so the golden ratio. So I'm going to give you a much easier to understand. I'm going to change you to the nearest significant figure. And then I'm going to change my ratio to be 1.6 of your ratio. So you are now 2,000 pixels by 2,000 pixels. So I basically... Oh, but the golden ratio would mean that one person is 3.1 point... One of us has to be 1.6 the scale of the other, right?
And I think that should probably be you, given that you're in the corner. And it seems like I'm going to have to come back to sort of the middle right bit.
What if I make myself... Actually, I don't want to touch this because I use this scene all the time. Yours is easier to remake. Mine's got loads of code attached. Mine's got this and stuff. And that. I'm not even near it. I can't even touch it. Can't even get in it.
What's the roundabout for?
It's when I'm thinking too hard.
Right, it had that feel.
It's a little bit like when you see in Homer's brain is the intention.
Sure.
So it'd be like, what's 160% of 2,000, right? So 150% of 2,000 is just 200, is 3,000. So you just want 32,000.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not very good at maths, but I think so.
But I'm assuming I'm going bigger than you. Right?
Than me? I thought you didn't want to change your own size.
Well, I don't.
Well, then don't do it.
But then, okay, so okay, I'll use just Google doing maths for me. So I'll find out what size I am. If you're 100 pixels, Ike would be 162 pixels. So we need to find out what I am. Except I'm in a nested scene, so finding out my size is really hard.
Timer complete.
We've got to egg and sip. Everyone egg, I'll sip.
Egg. 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 Egg.
Okay, so my scale in pixels is
Egg.
319 times 772. So we're going to find out what 162% is of both of those. So times 1.62 is 1326. So your first scale is going to be first scale is going to be 1326.78. And then we'll just do that again for the other digit, 772.
Oh, I'm very squashed up here.
It's because then you're not 1250 point. 1250.64. Okay, and that's now the golden ratio. It has made you a little wide.
I'm looking a little on the wide side. Or is
But
it just
that's
because we were just looking
apparently-
at me and I was squashed up? Is this normal and it looks strange now because of what we were just looking at?
No, you are not in the
strange.
right ratio. But you are in the golden ratio.
It's not right, but it's golden.
You got it. That's it.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
Don't worry, I'll be wide too. Oh, why is it not working? Where's wide? Oh, I see. Don't worry, I'll be wide too.
Oh.
We'll both be wide.
Yeah, that's good. Stay like that for the rest of the stream.
No.
Okay. Ink recap. So,
Oh god.
choices are made with
Robot
asterisks. Knots, which you can think of like scenes, are made by putting two equal signs either side of a name, and you can send the story to one of those scenes by doing a little arrow and then saying the name of that scene. You can even divert back to a knot you've already been in and create a loop, a story that goes round in circles. If you end up in a knot you've been in before, previous choices might not appear, but you can change the asterisk to a plus, and then those choices will continually stick around. If you want to put a choice inside a choice, just use two sets of asterisks. And if you've got lots of choices and they go in lots of different places, but you want to just make sure they all gather up at the end and end up in the right spot, you can use a little dash for something called a gather, and they'll always end there, and you can just carry on the story from there. That's everything we've learnt so far. There is a couple of extra little tricks you can do if you want a choice to sort of change when you click on it. You can hide stuff by putting it into red square brackets, and you can use these to get it to ignore line breaks and just print all things out in a row. So you respond rudely will become it is broken. I don't know why it's
Hello.
gonna work.
So far, we just done Ike says hello.
Yeah, I don't know why it didn't. Oh, it's because it's open here as well. So you respond rudely becomes you respond with get to fuck Ike dickhead.
Oh, and then
And-
it leads down to some other stuff.
And the question we were just dealing with, which we had to deal with other things, golden ratio stuff. The reason why you might want to use more than one gather is because if you've got nested choices like this, right? You've got one choice and then these two choices exist inside one of the choices and then these 3 asterisk choices exist inside the 2 choices. It doesn't know what it's gathering. So if you put 1 dot, it thinks, everything at the end will end up here. But if I wanted to try and gather these and I put 1, it would think that's maybe a gather for the high levels or it's a gather for these 2s. And by putting it 3 in, I'm telling it, no, you're only gathering up these choices. Only these 3s that you're bringing together here. So that's why you'd want to use 3 gathers in a row. It breaks up the ambiguity, but even though these are 2 choices, I only need to use 1 because it applies to everything here that's come before that doesn't already have a choice.
But currently, the line Ike stops advancing and looks uncomfortable is showing up even if you insult Ike. So you need to add 2 hyphens to that
Right? Is that true?
to make that only respond to these follow-up questions.
Yeah, you're right. So if I put that there, that will remove, and that tells it that only gathers up these 2s. Yeah, so you got it.
Okay, so that is just you have to scale it to however many asterisks you're on.
Yeah, how deep into some kind of choice tree you're doing. Yeah. So I know I've just realised this was a recap that was supposed to begin in 5 minutes. But has everyone who's interested in following this followed it so far? Are there any sort of outstanding questions? I'm happy to give it a little run, but maybe we'll give it a little run while we wait and see if there are any questions. Are there comments? Yeah, I think it's this. I think 3 dashes, and you can put comments here. If you're not familiar with comments, comments are just being able to type things into a script, but the game doesn't try and run it. It's just for you to read it and understand stuff. Shall I teach one more thing, or shall we play it, the game?
Teach one more thing, because that gives a chance for more content, which might be redemptive to my character.
Timer
I'm
complete.
extremely dissatisfied with this game so far, I must say, purely from a narrative standpoint.
Yeah, I might check. The last couple of things, I think, would be variables and conditionals. Variables are a bit complex, and I don't really think you need to use them. Conditionals, however, are quite useful. Sometimes, when the game is advancing, it might want to check something. It might want to check anything. It might want to check if you've spoken to this person before. It might want to check if you're trying to use the hammer. Have you even found the hammer? Have you picked up the hammer so far? The game needs to be able to know if something's true or not. And that's called a conditional. Just to keep each little thing simple, let's start a whole new project, and its only aim is to make conditionals nice and clear. So what might you want to check? We've used Ike and Big Mama. Do we want to try and bring everything together? So who are our characters? There's Ike, Big Mama. What was the other game? We've made 3 games, I feel like.
No.
Insult Ike. We've made 2.
It was the pumpkin pie. Big Mama was mostly about pumpkin pie, and that being the wrong route to have chosen. The pumpkin pie shop, rather.
Okay, so Ike wants a pumpkin pie. Get me a pumpkin pie. That's what Ike is saying.
No, hang on. Can you add please? Can you say please get me a pumpkin pie? Or get me a pumpkin pie, please? No! This is... No,
What's
I would
wrong?
not slam. I would scoop gently.
Placing his hand down repeatedly.
No,
on the
placing. That's a better word.
kitchen counter.
With excitement, with endearing excitement, and not with raw aggression or petulance.
Sure.
Oh no! Well, hang on. I mean, I was invited onto the stream, but a lot of people probably do not know me.
This
so
is a
that's
different Ike. Every time you hear Ike, you think it's you. That's kind of a weird
because
quirk.
it's hard not to. So if we put a character called Maul, you could detach that and it could be a different person, could it?
Hard to say. I don't deal in hypotheticals.
Okay, let's put in a character called Maul. Twist it.
You are more. You need to diffuse Ike's behavior.
No. This is an absolute stitch up. I
Okay,
came onto
I'll
this stream
try
in
to
good
get
faith to
you
learn
a
ink,
pumpkin
and I've learned
pie.
that I'm a petty tyrant.
Fine. Whatever it takes to get your palm off where I prepare my dinners. See,
so that
to
choice
it
isn't
that
actually
you
much of a
do.
choice. It's a bit of a but thou must.
Clear
Although,
that Ike isn't going anywhere until he's been furnished with some PPP pie. Oh, it doesn't like that. It's registering that as something strange.
what's happened with Umpkin?
I don't know. It must be reading it as some scripty thing. Let's see what happens. No. It. I think there's maybe a text language that maybe automatically puts stuff in brackets into a color, but the actual compiler doesn't care.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so we want to check something. So,
are we going to try and put everything we've learned into this one game then, and this will be like the sample game? That's quite.
They
nice.
can all be sample games, but we can still try and put everything in here. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have like a conclusive one. All right.
Go to the pumpkin pie shop. And then we'll make these places. So we'll go to Big Mama's house. And there's also going to be pumpkin
With the arrow thing.
pie shop. Yeah, and so we'll just send the character to the place they're saying they'll go. So Big Mama's house. And we can also go to the pumpkin pie shop. So pumpkin pie shop.
Okay.
Now we've got two scenes to fill out. So you go to Big Mama's house. Big Mama is there. And then we're going to
Mama should have a capital M.
Then there's a little thing you can do called a stitch. And a stitch is like a little sub-scene of a knot. And it helps you break down your knot if your knot's quite big. So we're going to call it Get Pie, right? And I'll explain the reason why we're doing this in a second. So that's going to send you straight to Get Pie. She gives you a pie.
So hang on. So is there a reason why Get Pie's got an equals sign before it? Should it be 2, or is it a different function?
I think it's just 1 for a stitch. You just put 1 before. Something
Sorry,
got
what is the difference
randomized.
between a stitch and a knot?
So let's say you've got a knot, right? In the pumpkin pie, let's say in the pumpkin pie shop, there might be. We're thinking of it in terms of it like it's a place, but you can use these in lots of different ways, right? Because it's just programming. But you might want to say in the pumpkin pie shop, there is the booth at the back. There's the toilets. There's the counter. And for whatever reason, you might want to use these like knots, but they're only relevant within one knot. So they're like sub-knots or sub-scenes. And they have their own unique address. So if I wanted to send someone to the pumpkin pie shop, but they didn't come in from the back door, maybe they tunneled up through a hole, we might want them to appear in the toilets. We can't send them straight to the pumpkin pie shop. So we'd send them to the pumpkin pie shop dot the toilets, and they'd
Okay,
start in
so
this bit of the knot. It allows you
so
to make
essentially
unique addresses for a knot.
they just serve the same purpose as a knot, but it's just that it helps keep the actual code tidier by kind of
Well,
putting it into subcategories.
its main aim is that you can send the story to very specific place, because knots can sometimes have a lot of information. It could be that everything's called knots, right? Because you could make the pumpkin pie shop toilets its own knot.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It feels like the stitches are just to kind of keep it cleaner for you.
Yeah, it's about
Putting it in
cleanliness, and
folders.
you know when you see a stitch, you think, well, we're probably never going to need to use the pumpkin pie shop toilets anywhere else in the game. We're probably only going to need them in the pumpkin pie shop. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
And the reason I'm giving this a stitch is so I can call it at a different time and check it, because we want to check if the player's got the pie. And the player can only get the pie by coming to this stitch. But for some reason it's saying is wrong. Oh, it's asking where the game goes after this. So that's a normal error when you haven't finished writing.
Is that what that means? It's a little warning sign, isn't it? Sorry, I've
the
just seen
warning
that, yeah.
sign's just saying, if you run this, it won't work, because I don't know what to do after this, because it needs to know what the game's doing. But that's not really a problem.
Timer complete.
It's turn your socks inside out time.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, I'm also going to do it.
Let's hang on. I've got to try and knock this over when I do it. Do we need receipts? Do I need to do it on screen?
Well, I'm going to. I mean, I understand the.
One day, I will do a stream with you where I don't need to put a sock on my hand.
Are you sure?
I'm not confident. It's
There
more
we
of an aspirational thing I just said, really.
Okay.
Do we both have to do both socks, or could the plural of it apply to the fact that we've each done a sock?
My understanding, as long as we do anything that can be argued to in some way meet the letter of what has been written down, we are entitled to move on. We can bedazzle it as much as we like and force them to come back with a better written prompt. She gives you a pumpkin pie, and then you can say, go back to Ike. And if you choose that, then we're going to go back to... I'm going to give this intro. And then, if ever want to go back to the beginning, you've got to do this little bit, so there's an address to send it to. So we're going to go back to intro.
Oh, so you can just start roaring the scene, but you only need to do the arrow start if you otherwise would be starting with a knot.
I only write it in if for some reason I want to go back there, because it needs an address, and a knot gives you an address. The same for stitches. It's just giving you an address if you want to ever refer to it at some point in the script. Otherwise, just do choices and gathers and just do the story that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, we might want to have a choice which is only available if we have a pie. So we might want to check that get pie has ever happened.
Okay, cool.
Give Ike a pie. Now, I don't know if I've written that right. Is it this? Is it this? No, it's probably this. Let me check. Are you sure, actually? I'm not convinced. Oh, that's... Expected end of line, but you saw that. I don't think it is that. And for some reason, I wrote down loads of notes. And I don't know why this bit's not in my own notes. What? Why is this not in my notes?
It's easy to just overlook things.
I'm sure I wrote down really comprehensive notes for myself on how all this works. Yes, and I almost remember the syntax for choices. I don't always find the error message useful. I'm actually instead going to spend my time looking in my notes where I felt confident I wrote everything out. Yeah, I've already tried that. I'm just... Oh, it was right the first time I wrote it. It's just that thing where it wants to know if that's the end of the game. Unresolvable variable. It thinks it's a variable. I must have deleted a big chunk of my notes by accident. I'll just look in the documentation. Oh yeah, you can't control F the documentation you get through this, which is an absolute nightmare. You have to find the documentation that's online, and they don't link to it in a really obvious way. So Ink language documentation, as you can see, I've already gotten used to search it through Google. Conditional choices, here you go. That's a lot like what I've already written. I thought that is what I've written. Unresolvable, get pi.
Where did you put it down there?
Of course. I've already said it's a unique address. It's Big Mama's house. Dot get pi. Yeah? Remember I said that the stitch is a unique address, but you have to say what knot it's in. So it's checking.
Right.
Sorry, Martine. I found you giving me suggestions. Made my brain a million times more non-functional. I just needed to work it out. So that's the syntax. If you wanted to check within a choice, you have to put the asterisk first so it understands it's a choice. Then there's the thing you're checking. Give Eike pi. Whereas if you want to do it in normal text, it's a little bit different. So you might want to say, like, let's say you don't want him to say, give me a pumpkin pie. Maybe if you have a pumpkin pie, he says, give me the pumpkin pie. So you could check, you might want to check, so Big Mama's house dot get pie. You put the, right? But if you want to check if it's not happened, you might put not Big Mama's house get pie.
Oh, okay.
Right? And then we're going to check if this works. So I'm going to get much smaller.
You do the same and change get to give. But that we don't need to do that for the tutorial. But yeah, I see how it works.
You understand.
Yeah.
Oh, Martine has said if you want to check if something's true or false, you could do the / a. So if it's just a true or false on something. I didn't know that. We're all learning today.
Great.
So let's play through and see if it works. So I think both of these lead to the same choice, right? Because they're two choices. And can we get Smartine in the chat, please? And then you could agree, oh, I'll get you a pumpkin pie. And we're going to go to Big Mama's house.
See to it that you do.
And she's given us a pumpkin pie. So we're going to go back to Eike. And now Ike says, please give me the pumpkin pie, because Ike has seen that we have a pumpkin pie. But I've made an error, and I've put this choice beneath the gather. But it should appear here, because I have a pie. I put it in the right place. And if we give Ike a pie, we've won the game.
End of story.
End of story, yeah. We can obviously add more stuff in, but like...
No, I like it. I like it just the pie gets handed over, credits roll.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Ike is so happy and becomes normal.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
What's this game's called?
Pumpkin Pike, but Pie.
Yes, that was.
IKE.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. No, yeah. Pumpkin Pie. Yeah, okay.
Here is another place. Yeah, that would be useful. In fact, yeah, we could use that to say, give Ike a, instead of pie, in the end you say, new lease on life, as he tucks down into the treat. Ike's eyes light up and his heart grows 5 sizes. The man has become normal. Your life will also go back to normal. Happy holidays. There we go. That's just a bit of a nice ending there. Save that. That's canon.
Yeah.
And that's how you check something. So up here's how you check it in text. You put a little colon and you just say what things should change. And if you want to put in a choice, you just check it like that.
Timer complete.
We've got to swap glasses.
What kind of glasses? This or this?
So would you just see give Ike a pie and then click pie? Yes. In fact, if we go back, we can just go back a choice. Just here it says give Ike a pie. But pie, the word pie will be switched out for a new lease on life. In fact,
you should make that A lowercase, really.
What we could do here is we could keep the A uppercase, but put that in the brackets as well, and then put a new lowercase A in here.
I mean, it still doesn't really make sense to start with give Ike a new lease on life, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
I think it makes compared to the surrounding game, it makes plenty of sense.
Yeah, I get you. Oh wow. Oh, okay.
You don't have to participate. I just happen to have things to hand.
Hang on. I will. I can.
So is there anything else that's really worth going over that's not like too much for an intro session? You can also store variables. I don't know if it's worth it. Like you can store a thing that's numbers and call them. So you could have a variable which is like how many dogs have I seen, and every time you see a dog, it ticks up
find
1.
Any other glasses? I'm sorry.
That's fine. Don't feel obliged by these bullies. These bullies don't control you or your life, and they are bullies. Don't be afraid to call them that.
I don't want to do that because I'm saving all my aggression for Pokemon. This is a normal Ike streak. I've been given the pumpkin pie and I'm feeling good about myself. But Pokemon, I think I'll get frustrated and start calling people bullies. I'm saving it for then as another treat to myself. Thank you.
Yes, Red Coat, you could do HP or money. People have made like action RPGs in this, sort of, with like enemies
Action
with health
RPGs?
values. You could do like an old school roguelike where you're like a barbarian wandering around, you have random encounters, you have to hit enemies, they hit you, you
Oh,
level
sure,
up,
sure.
you gain spells, you know. You can have all the code of a Final Fantasy game just with text. And I may as well
like
show
that.
just a little variable. In case someone wants to start thinking in that way, we can make a little variable and it's called dogs. Dog number. I thought that's. Oh no, it has to be capitals. So we've got a dog number and it starts off as 0. So when we start the game, we've not seen any dogs. And then we go into intro. Intro. You live to see dogs. You love to see dogs. Seeing a dog is how you want to be. How many dogs have you seen? Why, it's, and how do you print variables? Print variables. Oh, no, it's up here. Oh, we got to do something. We're going to have to do something soon. But I think it's, why you have seen a grand total of dog number dogs. Where do you want to go to try and see more dogs? Where do you think people might have dogs you can see? The kennels? An alley? Google search the word dogs.
Timer complete.
We're going to have to size change ourselves, which is fine. If it allows me to go back to my normal glasses, I can see. A pub, yeah? Okay,
What?
we're going to
Oh.
choose our relational size.
Let's see.
Big Ike, Big Sean. Okay, I'm coming up.
You get me wrong. That's supposed to be big. It doesn't say anything about opacity. You'll have to make yourself my size and translucent.
Yeah, I'm welcome. I'm happy to. Oh, we're probably going to have to be in the same place. Is that all right?
Couldn't we be on one side of the screen each?
Is that what you'd prefer?
I don't know. See, let's see what it looks like when you're translucent. We could just be like the same entity. And I'll sit up and
Yeah, sit where's comfortable for you. You sit down low. I'll bring you up. You should
I'm a
come up, I
sloucher.
think.
I'm a sloucher.
Yeah. Let me check what your opacity is. We should be exactly the same. Robot egg. Okay, you're at like 10%, so I'm way higher than you are. I'll fix that. Yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, this is quite intimate.
This is the face of our protagonist.
We've been asked for some eerie music, and yeah, I've actually got some eerie. I've been making eerie music today, so I'll just pop some in. It's going to be quite loud to begin with. This is some sound effects for the Mando's episode 100. This is
Egg.
Egg.
yeah, egg.
Oh, so every time an egg comes on screen, there's actually someone's. You told me there was someone's voice saying egg.
Yes, and it can be very different eggs. Yeah, it's very different.
I'll
eggs,
have to
different
watch it on the
times.
catch up.
Egg. Egg.
Who is that guy who keeps appearing as an egg?
Eggs
What
and
guy?
asp.
There's an egg that's just like a man's
What
face.
guy? Describe the guy.
He's got like facial hair and got like a haircut.
Oh, Tom York.
Oh yeah, I thought it
Tom
was-
Yoke.
That's very good. That's very good.
Thank you. So we're just going to continue this egg dog game. So with the kennels, you probably see quite a lot of dogs. You see one dog in the alley,
Egg.
and so we might want to say dog number plus equals 1. Is that right? And then we're just gonna. All of these will loop back to. You saw at least one dog. Hooray! Keep up the good work. And then we're going to send back to intro. And then in the kennels, you probably see quite a lot of dogs. You see 20 dogs. You see
Killian's
20
got a
dogs.
very pertinent question.
Can you include pictures of the dogs in game? Yeah, you can include pictures. It's not built into the play. You have to edit the CSS, and you can leave tags for it to summon up images that are in a folder. It's outside of the scope of this, but yes, you can. Dog number plus equals 20, and we'll make these that you can go to all of these many times you like. Just keep seeing the dogs. You see 200 dogs. Dog number plus equals 200. Pub. You see 0.5 of a dog. In fact, I don't know if we're including float. I don't know. You see one dog. You just see one dog. Dog number. Dog number plus equals 1. And then that should send you back. So let's check this works. So at the moment we've seen a grand total of 0 dogs. In fact, we don't need this intro. We know we love to see dogs. Let's just say we've got a sub thing of this of like intro. We'll just call it dog total, right? Oh, do you not automatically go to here? What happens if I put done here? This is me learning. Yeah, why does it not?
Huh?
Just ends the story. Do I have to tell you to go into dog total? Otherwise you don't automatically do it? That's crazy. Okay, I guess I push it into the stitch. But that means that when I come back around, I don't have to read that first paragraph again. I can send it just to this dog total stitch. And so at the moment I see a grand total of 0 dogs. If I go to an alley, you see 1 dog in the alley, and now it says I've seen 1 dog. But now if I go to the kennels, I see 20 dogs, so I've seen a total of 21 dogs. That's how you track a variable. Yeah, the game never automatically goes into the next knot. I assume that's because sometimes the next knot is irrelevant. Like when we did Big Mama's house. Below Big Mama's house was the pumpkin pie shop. I don't want it to automatically be in the pumpkin pie shop if you accidentally... Like, if there's a wrong bit of syntax, it shouldn't send you there. So that makes sense.
That's
how you track a variable.
This is a very useful sample game. Yeah.
I think they're like variable in their usefulness, but there you go. That's ink. I think I've taught it reasonably well, and
Timer
I
complete.
think bonus points because I was on hard mode because of the culture I've created around my streams.
My hot take: that you're on easy mode. That's streamlined the teaching process. You've got receptive students, and you've got a vibe pre-established.
When are we going to talk about what we want to use it for?
Huh?
When are we going to talk about what we want to use it for?
Well, I don't know. I was thinking, what's the next stream? We were talking about maybe some sort of Inky jam, but also.
Well, no, I think the Inky jams. If I can summon up enough enthusiasm from it amongst enough people connected to the community. If you are interested in making things on Inky, I do want to make jams, and if you are not involved in the community, the Discord is the best place to be. Me and Ike, this is all started because me and Ike had an idea for a game that we thought would be very funny to make. And so all of this really is us working backwards because we want to use ink to make a game. And I think the next stream, next Friday, is a design document me and you make about what the game is and how it should work, and decide the nuts and
Yeah, I
bolts.
think we can. I think we can just start on it now. I think we've got the basics down, and I think everything else we'll learn as we go.
Egg.
I understand what we've just seen. We've just seen the angel's egg.
Well, oh, it was very nice. It was very nice. I liked it.
How does maybe next week will see how many people are interested in the Ink Jam, and then we'll work out how we want it to work. I think there's loads of things to consider if we're going to make a jam.
Yeah, we won't pull the trigger on that one just yet, I guess. But no, I think we can definitely just. Yeah, I think it's good just to make a big
Laub
overview.
is very keen to point out that we haven't actually fulfilled the current activity. We have to measure something. My head is 115% taller than my hand. Estimate.
I'm gonna locate myself to try and make my head 100% the size of Sean's head.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's really scary.
Do a really big smile. Open your eyes really wide. Welcome back to the streams.
Oh, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. That's that we should we should just at some point do a version of that is the protagonist.
Timer
of the
complete.
game
That's
But
quite a good idea.
It doesn't have dog number in the way. No, get a version of that and then get art drawn of it. Of what that individual would look like being a real person.
Egg.
Anyway, yeah, no, I think the design document thing is a good idea. Yeah, let's just start that.
And
kind of
do
work on
we
that.
want to say what the concept of the game is now, or should we save that as a Friday reveal next week?
I think we'll get enough mileage out of saying what it is every time we plug a stream. So I think for now have the reveal as the teaser for this one, because there'll be enough
if we
streams
say
where we
it
get
now, only a fraction of people will see it now. Because it's hidden at the end of a long stream.
Oh, so you're not saying we go fully public with it and start?
No, we just say it on this stream as a reward for people who watched to the end.
Yeah, fuck it. It would be appalling to not actually. Let's go.
Egg.
We've got some enemies list stuff just to wait for it to finish. I've been told to forgive everyone, by the way. I've been told to grant mass forgiveness to enemies. So
I think that's a kill litter like level demand. I don't think you have to do that.
No, because I only need to give everyone one round of forgiveness. So actually, there's someone who's my quadruple enemy. So now they're just my triple enemy, and there are no other enemies.
I didn't know it stacked. I didn't know enemy level was a variable. Okay, that's fair then.
So so now I've only got 2 lists on there actually. So it's just Mono hasn't forgiven me, and Oracle of Truth who's just my triple enemy.
Have you fully forgiven Mono?
Mono never did anything wrong.
So Mono's on the enemies list purely because you are their enemy. So
Yeah, it's keeping track of enemies going both ways.
Oh, okay. It's just a list of who is whose enemy.
Yeah, I'm only one person's enemy, but they're also my best friend.
Right.
So
Yes,
we want
anyway,
to
I think
make
it's-
a provincial open mic comedy simulator. I want it to be like Papers, Please.
Whereas I would like to do something, I guess, a bit where the gameplay loop is slightly more narrative than Papers, Please. And I think we can reconcile that into something really, really, really good.
Yeah, if I want it to be like a roguelike Papers, Please. Ike wants it to be a branching narrative visual novel style game.
But light on the visuals, I guess.
Well, I am intent
maybe not
on getting it into Godot and making it more of a game.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, just with some graphics and buttons and music.
Yeah,
nothing fancy pants. But what we intend on doing is making a kind of gameplay loop. So the next stream will be working on the actual design and the gameplay loop, and then a lot of it is going to be writing the scenarios, designing the characters. There will be there will be minimal romance. It's mainly going to be it's going to be like a management sim, sort of.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to have very many dating sim elements. Don't worry. There's lots of visual
closest thing it will be is
romance.
a kind of management sim, but roguelike.
A sort of management sim roguelike, but also the management is both management of your night / business, but also management of a lot of people's feelings.
And I also think, and
emotions.
We've got a lot to talk about, but I also think the game should try to work out what the player thinks a good comedy night should be like, and judge its performance on whether they achieve that, rather than a single value of whether or not the night is good. But I don't know quite how to achieve that.
Yeah. I think it's going to be very good. I think it's going to be very fun. I think I'm more coming at it from the angle of we should have a nice gameplay loop, but I'm all right with sacrificing a little bit of replayability just for the game to have a lot more character and kind of fleshed out.
Me and Ike are pulling in different directions, and that will give the game strength.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're a very good combination to be working on something like this.
Yeah, we disagree about what we want it to be like, and that I think is going to be good.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be a very fun game to make and play.
And I intend for this to be a long-term creative stream, and we're going to create donation options for people to just add content into the game, whether we want it there or not.
Yeah.
But we're going to probably give ourselves the right to interpret. We're going to give ourselves the right to interpret.
Yeah, you can get the content in some way, but then a lot of it is, there's going to be like describing. There's content that we don't have to endorse because it's the content of an in-game, potentially bad comedian's act. So if there's something that's very stupid, sure, this guy can be saying it then.
And I think we can probably make there be a restricted access playable beta available at all times through itch or something like that.
Yeah, I think that would be good. I think. Well, we'll see, because that does kind of put the onus on us to finish each session with a still functioning version of the build. But that's probably not too hard to do. Once we actually get the original loop fixed in,
we'll see. If it turns out that it's actually inconvenient to try and ensure the game compiles correctly at the end of each session, then we just won't do that and we'll work something else out.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of working stuff out, but I'm looking forward to it.
It should be good.
And that's it. Has everyone had a nice time? Has everyone who learned Ink got their head around the basics? There is an Ink channel on the Discord where I'm around. Martine has been learning a lot, and between the two of us, we can probably handle anything fiddly anyone's trying to do. I'm quite interested in the fact that you can make gamey games in it. Like, you could make a game that's like got lots of mechanics in it and checks how much sweat is on your brow at every point and whatever. That kind of stuff makes me laugh a lot.
We could just do like a Dwarf Fortress and just keep updating this for like 15 years and putting in like new sweat mechanics.
I think that is the way it's going to go. I just see that being our lives. But that we become notorious for this thing that doesn't even work. Great. Yeah, next week I will put out some feelers and see if we want to make a think about a jam and how it would work, what the timescale would be, if we want it to have any competitive edge to it, if we want to have themes, let people make what they want. There's stuff to discuss essentially. I'm going to reset my sizing. Bring us back to reality.
I just want to add before the stream ends that people always kind of say when the sort of our games art debate comes up, like, oh, what is the Ulysses of video games? I think it's going to be this.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be this.
It will be not Ulysses, but maybe Abe's Odyssey.
Yeah, well, you
in
know,
that
one
you
of
can
the two,
fart, you can fart. Robot egg.
Somewhere in between, maybe. Yeah.
Would people like me to post all these up as text files up in the Discord and pin them as tutorials? Because I can just copy the text in as little files. We've got T-15 until a big Eggageddon, and then we will go on a raid, and I'll see you all soon, I think.
I don't like being both huge and opaque.
Yeah.
Timer complete.
Egg.
Egg.
We got a bit of puppying going. It's egg time.
Egg.
Salute the sun. Thank you, God. GG, everyone. Or should I say EGG?
EGG.
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 Okay, everyone. I don't see...
Egg.
Games Done Quick is doing a Pac-Man. No, do you know what? I don't care. If you want to go and see it, just go find it. I'm going to bed. Good night, everyone. I'll see you soon, and good inking.
Merry Inkmas.
Can we please get TYE in the chat for thank you, Ike? Or even WB Ike for welcome back, Ike.
I've put IAE for
Egg.
I am Ike.
Yeah? And you're welcome to. That's your prerogative.
It's my entitlement. Thank you.
Yes. Didn't work.
Random Ike is just 0.
Good night, everyone. And goodbye.
Goodbye.